Shirt in front of the Old Trafford faithful for the first time. And manager Alec Ferguson, with whom Bruce shares a birthday on New Year's Eve, described his performance at Newcastle on Saturday as magnificent. Now, some of their players didn't do so well at Newcastle, so Remy Moses and Peter Davenport are dropped. Viv Anderson is back from injury. Mike Duxbury switches to midfield. Norman Whiteside goes back to a striking role. Everton have been beaten only once in their last 12 league games, but still find themselves 13 points behind the team who inflicted that defeat, Liverpool. Everton field the side which beat Luton on Saturday. The referee for this stirring occasion in the Northwest, Keith Hackett from Sheffield. Manchester United, red shirts, white shorts, playing in the first half from left to right. And Bruce, his first pass in front of the home supporters, goes astray to Stephen. That was Snowden. Heath to Sharp. Peter Reid breaking on the right-hand side. Everton dangerous already. Gary Stevens. Neil Poynton. Brian Robson's challenge. This is Ratcliffe. Wilson. Sharp waiting by the penalty spot. Trevor Stevens in the middle as well for Poynton's cross. It's going to come to Peter Reid. A lot of space. Jesper Olsen in the way, but second time he found Whiteside. Foul, Gary Stevens. Heath. Stephen. Ratcliffe's mistake. Robson, Leclerc. Whiteside made a run. Far side from Leclerc. Poynton got the ball away. Neil Poynton's touch there was vital, because Manchester United, thanks to Robson's early ball, had got the break with Leclerc. He was looking for Whiteside. Poynton got in first. Now Bruce and Moran have come up to the corner. In goes Moran, in goes Bruce, and away comes Reid. That was Duxbury. A little bit of anxiety in the Manchester United camp about playing Everton, because they've not had the best of times against them in recent seasons, in the league anyway. Anderson. Duxbury. Wilson for Everton. Offside, Adrian Heath. There's an awful lot hinging on this match. I don't think anybody wants to admit it, but the team that loses today, if somebody does, could more or less kiss goodbye to the championship in view of the leeway that's there. And kissing goodbye to the ball, Colin Gibson. Wilson now for Everton. Heath. Free kick. Bruce to Whiteside. Anderson to Robson. Leclerc! Good save by Southall. Beautiful goalkeeping. Really read it from the moment Robson played the ball. Leclerc still thinking about the miss, but it was good goalkeeping. Heath chasing, and Turner having to come out, and here's Sharp, and that's danger for Manchester United. And the goalkeeper and the defenders were not on the same wavelength at all there. And when Chris Turner got outside the 18-yard area, he had to use his head in desperation, and Sharp was looking for the lob back into the empty net. 5 minutes left in the first half, and we still await the first goal as Heath find Sharp in an offside position, and the offside tally is mounting up here. Robson, Ratcliffe, Reid, Snowden, Sharp, Strachan, Anderson looking up. Wilson inside to Reid. It's all a bit flat and square again here, and Reid beats the offside. He's away, put there by Heath. It's Peter Reid on the goalkeeper, and he scooped it over the bar. Well, that was the best shot of the first half, and I think Peter will be the first to admit it. He had so much time to think about it and so far to run that he wouldn't have found himself in that position, being a midfield player, all that often, and wouldn't be proud of the finish. Boynton's header. Wilson. And now Reid. Heath wasn't ready for that. Well, a stern, unforgiving fixture this, usually between Manchester United and Everton. It's been a little bit that way today in the first half. Peter Reid reflecting on the one outstanding opening that fell to him. And at the other end, earlier in the game, his goalkeeper Neville Southall made a fine save from Brian McClare. Otherwise, not much to report, with a half-time score of Manchester United 0, Everton. Second half in the Manchester United attack, replacing Norman Whiteside. Davenport actually began the game at Newcastle on Saturday. Brian Robson into McClare. Now here's a chance. McClare, yes! A goal for Manchester United by Brian McClare. Beautifully taken and very well made. And it started back there when Davenport let Robson take over. The ball that found McClare was excellent, but Gary Stevens was coming into challenge, and the centre forward did very well to hold off that and to steer his shot past Southall. So the top scorer, who cost big money from Celtic, repays a further part of his fee and puts Manchester United in the lead. The first goal in this fixture for over 2.5 matches. 0-0 the last 2 years here, but 1-0 now today to the Reds. And how coolly McClare finished that. Now Poynton, volleyed towards Pedal Steve, and Gibson will have to be quick. Stevens. Reid. Play on, says Keith Hackett, and McClare's glad to do so. Now Duxbury's made a good run from well inside his own half, Mike Duxbury. Ratcliffe's coming across, Davenport on the far side. Still Duxbury. Goes down, nothing given. And that's a good decision as well. It was Poynton who made the challenge, but wasn't a penalty. The referee's having a stormingly good game in my view. They might boo and down the ground, but Duxbury really went all the way, just for the last few yards. Keith Hackett right on the spot again, and absolutely accurate in his decision. Reid. He did that well. Brilliant. Stevens. Oh, that's terrific play by Everton. And they've got Snowden in behind Bruce. And if he can finish this... Had to check. Wilson. Poynton. It's still on, though. Stevens! Good save, Turner. A scintillating move by Everton. Started by Peter Reid with tremendous close skills on this near touchline, and it swept away then to the far side, and the goalkeeper had to make an important save from Trevor Stevens. The attendance given is 47,024, another huge crowd at Old Trafford. Colin Gibson into Olsen. Asking too much of Duxbury. Olsen's still got a foot in, though. And Moran against Heath. Oh, what a mistake by Moran. And Heath prodded it inside to Sharp. And an absolutely vital piece of defending by Steve Bruce, getting Kevin Moran completely out of jail. Well, what a mistake, and what a let-off. And a real point for discussion later there as to whether Heath did the right thing when he had the chance. It was Davenport at the other end. Foul by Ratcliffe. And Leclerc gets angry, and I'm not really surprised, because that was a break-on goal if Ratcliffe hadn't done that. Well, incident piling upon incident here. No sooner have Manchester United cleared their lines desperately, they suddenly found a way through at the other end, or nearly. Here's Olsen. Well, Kevin Moran will look back on that incident and breathe a huge sigh of relief. He never got anywhere near finding Turner with the back pass. He let Heath in, but the angle wasn't great, I have to say that. While Heath was deciding what he was going to do, Bruce saw what was on in the middle and came onto the goal line to block the effort from Sharp. Olsen. Bruce. So the Davenport chased that, but Barry Stevens is the man in possession. Gibson gets the header in. Davenport. Gibson again. Robson's just inside. Olsen. Throw in it is. Gibson. McClare. Strachan. Oh! Yes! Penalty! Strachan fouled just inside the box. And Keith Hackett had one look and pointed towards the spot. Poynton comes across disappointed. He didn't think it was an unfair challenge, but Strachan went down, and a penalty it is to Manchester United at the Stretford end. Brian McClare has a chance to score his second goal of the match, and what would be his 16th of the season. What a good strike by Brian McClare. And the ground erupts as the Manchester United supporters salute the second goal from a centre forward who is becoming more popular as time goes on. He didn't win the fans over right away, McClare, but if he puts the ball in the back of the net like he has today, then he's going to be quite a favourite here. 2-0. Substitution by Everton. Ian Wilson will come off and be replaced by Wayne Clark. And that may have put the match beyond the reach of Everton, durable though they are. Well, Poynton was the man who looked crestfallen when that tackle was judged to be a foul. And there's going to be a substitution here by Manchester United. Gordon Strachan is the player they're calling off. And I think they would expect Rennie Moses to go on and just tighten it up a little bit at this stage. 2 goals up. Strachan, the man who earned the penalty, had a good second half. In goes Sharp, and there's Watson, and a goal for Everton. Watson again shows what a dangerous presence he is when he goes into the opposite 18-yard area. And Manchester United really caught sleeping a bit at the back. Well won by Sharp, and Watson coming in on the far side, and that's 2-1. So, the old lesson, take nothing for granted. Strong mental resolve being shown by Everton from a position 2-0 down. They've found yet another foothold in the match. Sharp was the player who was fouled. Watson has gone forward again. This was a similar position to the way the goal came, really. Stevens forward, and Watson. Well, Anderson looks at Bruce. Bruce looks back at Anderson, and between them, they almost allowed Dave Watson his second goal and the equaliser. Not very good defending. Manchester United take the points and beat what has become their bogey team in the league after an exciting second half in which Brian Leclerc scored both United's goals and in which Everton staged a late rally with Watson getting one back and made the United defence look uneasy at the end. But my word, let's have a word for the referee. They've taken so much criticism lately. Keith Hackett, absolutely superb.
First home goal under the new managership of Terry Venables. The 2 previous matches here at White Hart Lane ended in defeat 2-0 and 1-0, and with injury forcing them to leave out Clive Allen and this season's top scorer Nico Klassen, Tottenham are fielding a team today who've scored only 7 goals between them all season. There's still no Ray Clements or Gary Mabbott, but it's a big day for 19-year-old Paul Moran, who's making his first league appearance here at White Hart Lane. West Ham, who lost both games here last season by an aggregate of 9-0, have similar injury problems, and they've turned once again to the veteran Billy Bonds. Now aged 41 years, 3 months and 11 days, a man who began his league career before Moran and 2 of his own teammates were even born. Referee today, Mr. John Martin from Hampshire. And it's Spurs who kick off, attacking the goal to the left, having won only 1 of the last 12 matches and having slumped from second in the First Division behind Liverpool down to 13. But this, a traditional Christmas holiday fixture in which they score goals. Gary Stevens. Early touch of the ball for Tony Parks, having an extended run in place of the injured Ray Clements. Terrific support on this bank holiday morning, and here's young Moran, a good ball inside to Hodge. Oh, he's missed the target. The first touch in league football for the youngster who's only 19, and it was a perfect pass to set up Hodge, who surely should have hit the target, and Tottenham have wasted the first opportunity. Well, Terry Venables there in the middle with Alan Harris, is number 2 to his left as we look. Must be full of dismay. Goals have certainly been hard to come by, and you can't afford to waste chances like that. Fairclough. Delis. tackled back by Ray Stewart. John Martin sees it as an offence. West Ham's captain intercepting from behind to dispossess Moran, and Tottenham have yet another free kick, but this time in a much more interesting position, right on the edge of the penalty area. And surely an opportunity here for someone of the likes of Waddle to test McAllister in goal. Ardiles is with him. Little discussion between the two Tottenham players. You or me, and there's plenty of white shirts forward, but surely he'll test the keeper. Ardiles steps over it. Waddle! Oh, yes! That's the way to do it! Waddle's second goal of the season, and his first since way back in August. 1-0 Tottenham, and it's no more than they've deserved. And that's the first goal that Venables and Harris have seen Tottenham score here at White Hart Lane, and they've had to wait a long time for it. Oh, nicely inside for Keane. Can West Ham reply early? Over the bar by Brian Statham. Well, suddenly this Christmas holiday fixture has come to life in the way that we expected. Brady, again, around Howells, Cotty, struck it well, but pulled it wide of the post. Well, certainly West Ham would like to reply as quickly as possible, no doubt remembering that when Spurs visited Upton Park in September, Spurs won 1-0 with that goal that day by Fairclough. And interestingly enough, at that occasion, Spurs were second in Division 1. And that's the half-time whistle. The first half, frankly, that was a little disappointing, and which didn't really only begin to fizz until Chris Waddle had put in that free kick after 31 minutes. And at half-time, it's Tottenham 1, West Ham 0. Nice to see some fresh young faces among the holiday crowd, and of course it's an extra special treat if your team goes on to win the match. So West Ham start the second half, and they'll certainly be conscious that they'll have to play a lot better in the second 45 minutes if they're to resurrect something from this bank holiday fixture. Haven't won here at White Hart Lane in the league for 4 seasons, West Ham. There's just one or two of the injured players for Tottenham. Klassen and Met Hod, Mabbutt and Clive Allen just biting his nails. Statham, good deep ball of Hein Moran. And the referee sees that as a foul by Robson and wants a word of the West Ham right back. He's certainly putting himself about. 6 forward in the group for Spurs. Fairclough. That's a corner. Stewart who got there first. Graham Waddle places the ball carefully. Hooked on. Oh, Fairclough off the bar. Still isn't clear. Well, how did West Ham survive? Chris Fairclough, who got the goal against them at West Ham back in September, hits the bar, and then the final effort just too high. Again, a Tottenham ball. In fact, John Martin has decided that Hilton's challenge in the back on Moran was a foul. And so a free kick. It's a similar position to the one that led to Waddle's goal, a little bit further out. David Howells, the header, will hit the foot of the post. And that's twice in the space of a minute that West Ham have found the woodwork rattled. First by Fairclough, then by Howells. That doesn't reach the halfway line. Waddle. Hodges made a run. And that'll be West Ham's throw. Has to steal a few yards, Stuart Robson. Bonds. And this is Brady. Carried by Moran. Keane. Sterling clears it the second time. Waddle, with a bit of space to come forward. Well, that's the result of Waddle really holding the ball too long, because there were options on for him. Now Bonds for West Ham. Hilton. Dispossessed by Mitchell Thomas. Dealers. Keane. Moran. Waddle. Back to Moran. Ray Stewart ahead of him. Gets around him. Oh! Warm applause for Paul Moran. A fine run. Beat Ray Stewart with George Parris there as well. The left foot shot from outside the area, curling just a little bit too high of that far right angle. Still in play. Hints. And this looks like the first yellow card. And Tottenham players don't like the signs here with Mr. John Martin reaching for his back pocket, because there have certainly been one or two, let's say, clumsy challenges. And Brian Statham, who's only 19, wouldn't want to mark his second appearance in the Tottenham first team with a caution. But that's what he gets. And maybe that's the result of the referee deciding it was time to stamp his foot down a little harder. But maybe he could have done it after an earlier incident. Brady. Looking for Robson. Hilton's forward. This is Robson. And away by Mitchell Thomas. West Ham's throw. And the West Ham support at that end of the ground, feeling they now have something to shout about. Hilton! Cotti! Hilton! It's 1-1! Paul Hilton! And look at the celebration! Paul Hilton's first goal of the season. And he has to thank Tony Cotti, doesn't he? Hilton got the first header from the corner. Cotti cut it back, and it was there hanging, inviting for Hilton. And it's one apiece. Moran for Tottenham. Allen. And now just listen to the West Ham voices. Robson. Well, that's certainly keeping the feet warm. Forced to check by Brady. Now Waddle, a long way out. That was deflected. And that'll be a corner. And McAllister was quite right to stay on his line with that fierce wind blowing into his face. And watch that ball all the time. Deflection came off Stewart. Tottenham with a corner. Fairclough's at the near post. Mitchell Thomas at the far post. Taken by Waddle. Waddle kept it in play. Yes! Fairclough! He does it again! Beautifully found by Waddle. But where had the defenders gone? Tottenham's reply was immediate. Chris Fairclough, whose goal beat West Ham at Upton Park in September, puts Tottenham back in front 2-1. Well, he stood on the near post for the first corner by Waddle, and when the ball went back out to Waddle, he stayed there, but the marker seemed to move away, and Waddle was unmarked. There was Fairclough. An easy goal. And young Paul Moran's league debut comes to an end with a standing ovation for the 19-year-old who's had a marvellous match, replaced now by Sean Close, who's 21. Ward to Ince again. Can he get in the shot? Well, he beat Parks as the keeper came off his line, but couldn't quite keep his balance and make second contact. And at this point, West Ham decide that maybe discretion calls for the pulling off of Mark Ward, who's just been booked and who certainly appeared to speak towards John Lyall in the dugout there in a manner which didn't look too friendly. He's gone straight to the dressing room, and West Ham have sent on Gary Stroder, number 14. And Gary Stroder cost £100,000 when he came from Lincoln City in March this year. Terry Venables already on his feet, and there's the final whistle. Little salute from Terry Venables, has seen his Tottenham team finally score a goal at White Hart Lane and win their second match under his management. Fairclough got the winning goal, having beaten West Ham at Upton Park in September. A fixture which Tottenham traditionally win, but by a narrower scoreline this year than in the past. The final score is Tottenham 2, West Ham 1.
South London club. Wimbledon's current form was good, while Arsenal had picked up just 5 points out of a possible 18 in the last few weeks. So the chance of a first ever win over an Arsenal side hit by injury and illness was on the cards. Such optimism took an early knock, though, when after only 3 minutes Arsenal broke with authority and speed. The pace was provided by Perry Groves, unsettling the Wimbledon defence and setting up a chance at the near post for Niall Quinn. There then followed an uneasy spell for the home side, in which their keeper, Dave Besant, nearly gifted the silliest goal of the season. Dave is renowned for his extrovert style of keeping, but this incident was more on the eccentric side, and one which might just keep him awake tonight. What's that old saying about never taking your eye off the ball? At this stage, Arsenal continued to have the better of things, and really it didn't come as too much of a surprise when they took the lead after 23 minutes. Groves' pace forced Wimbledon to concede a throw-in, and Arsenal were able to benefit from it, David Rocastle clipping in a perfect cross to the head of Quinn. "1-0 to Arsenal, and a moment of encouragement for the tall Republic of Ireland international, who has lost his place to Alan Smith this season. It's also a goal which keeps Quinn in Irish manager Jack Charlton's thoughts, with the European Championship finals not that far away. So the first half belonged to Arsenal and their huge following, but what a turnaround within 3 minutes of the second half starting. Straight from the kick-off, Wimbledon attacked through Dennis Wise. Forcing his way to the goal line, he cut in and hit a precise cross which Alan Cork met superbly. 1-1, and a goal which owed a great deal to referee John Mould. With his linesman flagging furiously for a free kick, he allowed play to go on, and Wimbledon reaped the benefit. Almost immediately, Cork returned the compliment to Wise as Wimbledon used the strong wind to their advantage. The well-known tactic of putting opposition under pressure from Besant's huge kicks worked a treat, although the Arsenal defence will be asking itself a few questions as well. They failed to clear the danger, gave the ball away, and this time it was Cork who set up the chance for Wise, one which the little number 11 took supremely well. 2-1 to Wimbledon, and Arsenal with only themselves to blame, although all credit to Wise for the left foot strike. For the next 20 minutes, Wimbledon literally laid siege to the Arsenal goal, with several clear-cut chances. First, Steve Williams was caught in possession in his own box by Sanchez, and only a magnificent save by John Lukic denied Alan Cork his second goal. Then the other goal scorer, Wise, had a chance for further glory. Carlton Fairweather's cross being side-footed over the bar. It was unusual to see the Arsenal defence so rattled and unsure, but that's the way it stayed for quite a while. Another long kick from Besant caused panic, and Fairweather's snapshot brought Lukic to his knees again. All this Wimbledon superiority took place in the 20 minutes that followed the interval, but then Arsenal came back. Kenny Sansom's long free kick led to David Rocastle threatening, and when Quinn went down in the box, there were appeals for a penalty. The referee's whistle stayed silent, and clearly he thought Fairweather's left leg was stuck out in a genuine attempt to win the ball. But if that was a close call for Wimbledon, take a look at this one, as Rocastle rounds Besant, only to see his shot brilliantly stopped on the line by the impressive Andy Thorne. With time running out fast, Rocastle was then involved in a fine Arsenal move. Running with the ball, he found Martin Hayes, who in turn got behind the defence, but the low cross evaded Quinn's lunging boot. It was to be Arsenal's last real chance of snatching a point, because 4 minutes later, in the 89th minute, Wimbledon sewed the game and 3 points up. Once again, questions have to be asked about the Arsenal defence, not so much in the build-up, but when Sanchez found Vinnie Jones totally unmarked with the long ball. A cool, calculating finish, and Wimbledon were home and dry. Wimbledon 3, Arsenal 1, and a game of great entertainment for the unbiased observer and, of course, the home fans. But what a contrast in moods between the two managers. For Arsenal's George Graham, the surprising slump in form continues. For Wimbledon's Bobby Gould, another bit of